Hey everyone, and welcome to Old Iron Garage. Thank you for tuning in. So today I'm out here again with my 77 Bolens G10. I got a few things in mind that I want to do to it, and to start fixing it up and getting it ready for possibly going to a tractor show, but also just for use, around the home, around the property, and I'm in a bit of a hurry, trying to get things done as fast as I can in as little time as possible. So I'm going to try to just kind of fly through things. So just try to keep up with me. Okay, so it's a bit of a windy day. It's a bit of a breezy day, so might be some noise from that. If there is, I'm sorry. I cannot control the weather. But I figured, hey, it'd be better to record the video than not to. I can't make content if I don't record. So I'll try to speak loud, just assuming that it's hard for you to hear me. So yeah, I got my phone placed up here to record. It's not really the greatest spot, but it's really the only place I have to put it out here at the time being. So I'm just gonna dive in and try to explain things as I go. Like I said, I'm gonna talk loud just in case it is hard for you to hear me because of the wind. So right now, I'm going to work on getting a muffler on. So I have to take this heat shield off because this exhaust pipe is loose. And I'm going to look into why it's loose. You know what? Speed things up a little bit. I'm going to go grab my little blue Hercules impact. Got it. Let's see here. So ½ inch. So yeah, like I said, I got to get this heat shield off, which, oh boy, that might be a little more than I was wanting to do to get it off, but I don't really have a choice. I either get it off or I don't fix the exhaust. Shoot, now I gotta take the battery out. Let's actually, you know what, I'm in luck. I don't have to take the battery out. Whoever had this out in the past did not reinstall this heat shield properly, and I'll show you what I mean once I get it off. Hey. Let me find something to prop up this hood. It's not good to let them bend all the way down to the ground. It bends the sheet metal at where it bolts onto the hinge, stresses the metal, makes them crack. Sometimes it's nice to just have junk laying around. There we are. The hood is resting on the bucket, it's not bending and stressing the steel at the bottom of the hood where it bolts onto the hinge. And I can see that I am missing a hinge bolt. I only have 2 instead of 3. So that might be something that I'll do yet today if I can find proper hardware for that. Let's see if this will just come off or if it'll give us a fight. The fuel tank is in the way. So I'll remove that. Fortunately, it has the original quick release style fuel tank straps. Is there something else in the way? No, it's just interfering with the exhaust. I have a feeling this exhaust is not how it should be. Oh, I was going to show you. So a previous owner did not reinstall this heat shield the correct way. What I mean by that, there's supposed to be a bolt going through this slot and into the output side of the engine block. And they put this on the outside of the bolt heads instead of inside of the bolt heads. And so, I guess for easy installation and removal, yeah, it makes it easier, but it's not correct. Which makes it so things can vibrate that probably shouldn't be vibrating, moving around. Well, let's take a look at this exhaust. Oh. Wow. I hope that's not what I'm afraid it probably is. I'm going to bring you guys down here and show you what I found. Take a look here. So I knew by looking up in with the flashlight there was no lock ring around here. See if that helps. But look at how much slop there is in that. That's from running it for who knows how long like this. So those aluminum threads, I believe this is aluminum, yeah, maybe about shot. Oh geez. So I'm gonna get it out and then we'll take a look. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out off camera and then we'll take a look. Just a brief progress report. See if I can get this to focus. So in order to get this to work, which I will show later on video when I put it back together, I had to cut this L-shaped bracket with the exhaust clamp piece off and weld it on the other way. See if I can get it to focus. It is not a very nice weld, but it will hold. It did pass the test. I had it in the vise and kind of pushed and pulled on it. The reason why I'm not going to get it to focus on that side. The reason why the weld is not very nice is I wasn't really prepared to do any welding on this project today. So this weekend I did not bring my welding hood home from work. I know I need to get another welding hood, one for home, one for work, and I been meaning to, and I just haven't yet. So first of all, I had to do it with my eyes closed, like the whole thing. So I just, you know, one spot at a time, bzzz, look at it, next spot, bzzz. Also, I'm using flux core. I hate flux core. I can do it, but I'm not great at it. And then, not only that, it was cheap flux core wire. So, yeah. Also had to be very careful not to burn down my garage. Another thing was, if you watched my previous video about this muffler that I'm going to be using, it had this was intended as a replacement muffler for some Cub Cadet. It had a bracket here to bolt it on. I took that off and I carefully ground down the welds and just kind of buffed that area to keep it nice and round and smooth, and didn't take off any more material than I have to, so that once repainted, because I'm going to be repainting this, it's going to be flat black like this, high temp paint, just like it is now, but obviously it's going to need some paint, some touch up, so I'm just going to do the whole thing so it looks nice and even. Once it's repainted, you should hardly be able to tell, and it should honestly be in a spot where you won't really notice it. So yeah, it's coming along, and I will bring you guys back after I get all the how the heck am I gonna get this mounted and everything lined up properly figured out the rest of the way. Alright everybody, so I have it figured out. I'm partway through installing the muffler. I did skip ahead, yeah. Sometimes that's just how it is when you're just trying to get stuff done. I did something I normally would never do, and I really didn't want to do, but given the damage to those aluminum threads in the exhaust port, I didn't really have much of a choice. So I guess this is my time to test this and see how well it will hold up. I took some JB Weld. It was actually JB Quick. And I cleaned out the threads the best I could. I cleaned up the threads on this pipe elbow. And I smeared a thick ring of JB Quick on there. JB Quick sets up way faster than JB Weld. In like 10 minutes, that was rock hard. And then I smeared the bead that squished out. I put the JB Quick on the threads on this, not in the port, so I wouldn't have a bunch of it inside the port. And then I smeared it all around with my finger to kind of make a seal. Yep, I don't expect it to last permanently. If it'll at least last me through through a tractor show and maybe some use around home, that'd be great. I did figure out the geometry of the angles to get it to where the muffler is nice and level and at a decent height. And the bracket for the support fits, and it doesn't interfere with the body of the muffler, and it's not way out here at the angle cut at the end. I did have to take off the carburetor and the 90-degree intake tube to get that out of the way to work for a little while. And I got that back on. So I just basically have to finish the install. I have to, this is at the correct angle, so I have to tighten my lock ring here. Oh, I did clean up and paint this pipe because this will be exposed. And then as far as the muffler, I didn't repaint the whole thing. I will at a later time. I found out I was way lower on header paint, ceramic header paint, than I thought I was. So I just kind of can't even really tell on camera here, and then down here where you won't even see, and then here on the end a little bit where I reground it. I just kind of touched it up with the tiny little bit I had left. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. All right, let's try to get this all tightened up. Finish this install. Sorry you're looking at my back side, but it's not my best side. I don't really have a good side. Back a little. That should do. So I tightened up the lock ring on the pipe that goes into the bent or angled pipe fitting. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Now it's just a matter of trying to get this exhaust clamp to tighten. I've got it pretty tight with my little impact. And you can still move that muffler quite a bit. I'm not happy about that. I may have to cut the slits on the muffler inlet longer so it can really tighten it down, because I'm afraid that the slits don't go in far enough. It's not going to compress that. It's not going to squeeze that pipe. So let me back that clamp off. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so that does appear to be the issue. I am just going to have to go in the garage and cut those slits further, and I might even cut 2 more slits. See, the slit is not as long as the clamp is wide. That's really hard to see. There you can see, sort of. It needs to be at least that long. Minimum. Maybe a little longer would be better. So I will be back. Alright guys, so I cut 1, 2, 3, 4 slits so it can really compress that pipe, and I went ahead and cut them all the way to the weld, but not through the weld. I know that'll make a little bit of an exhaust leak, but not much. It's not going to be noticeable. So I'm going to hurry and get this on, because I have to leave here in just a little bit. So let me get that done real quick. Still moving. So I know this impact is only rated for so much, though I am worried about the integrity of this exhaust clamp, because it's made of pure Chinesium, I'm sure. And yeah, just as I thought. It just needs a stronger bolt. Yeah. Alright everybody, I'm back. I actually had to leave and go do some stuff and pick up my truck from my dad's shop and stuff like that. So while I was out, I stopped at the auto parts store and I got 2 of these. I needed one that was 1.5 inches. These are, like, you know, automotive style exhaust clamps, the U-bolt style. So I got one at 1.5 inches. And I got the other one, I needed maybe like 1 3/8 inches. I got the other one at 1.5 inches because it's an auto parts store for car parts, and that's the smallest they carried. So I'm going to use it for now. Order correct size on Amazon. So let's put this on. I jumped ahead a little bit. The muffler is sitting in place. The clamp is setting in place. Got to put on one more nut. I kept one nut aside to go find the right size socket. let's do the thing. I'm going to start with this little impact and finish it by hand. You know what? That actually did do a pretty good job of closing it up, but I'm still going to go with the smaller one because it'll close it up all the way. It'll seal it up nice and tight. So the other, or I do want these clamps painted, you know, with the high temp ceramic header paint. And let me show you what I use. For anything for a high temp application, or anything like also like that'll come in contact with you know, petroleum based fluids, you know, fuels, oils, whatever, brake fluid, I like VHT paint. This is their flame proof, as they call it. This is ceramic coating header paint. It is good up to, says 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you across the pond, I don't know what that is in Celsius. Sorry, I'm not familiar with conversions. So, yeah, and it's a nice flat black. Looks good. It's not terrible expensive. This, I think it's, well, you know, one can goes a good ways, you know. It's not like you got a whole car to paint. It's just the exhaust, and I don't think it's more than 15 US dollars. I say US dollars because, you know, I do have at least one viewer I know of from across the pond, so, but anyways, so I don't know the exact price, but I think it's $15 or less per can here in the US. So, yeah, I do intend to paint both of those. I painted one of them right now. It's hanging up like back here somewhere on the front of the garage where I got some screws screwed in to hang things while they dry when I paint them. The other one, the one that's the incorrect size, right there, I'm not going to bother painting because it's going to get swapped out with one of the correct size when I order it. So let's go ahead and get this other one on. I hope it's dry enough to handle. Close enough. I actually ran out of the VHT header paint. So for this, I just used this. I had this laying around. Rust-Oleum High Heat. Don't know what it's, okay, it says rated up to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. I've used this on a bike exhaust before. A little 2-cycle enduro that is in pieces, and maybe one day you guys will get to watch me put it back together. The engine is actually sitting right up there on that shelf. Little Yamaha 250 2-stroke. Fun little bike. So let's get this on. Yeah. Shoot. So I had to give this a little pinch in the vise to make it fit in the holes. I think I gave it too much of a pinch. Let's see if it lines up with the holes. I'm just going to force her on. There, we got her now. And in. She's in. It was close enough, I was able to just force it. Looks good. Matches pretty good. The high heat, the Rust-Oleum high heat paint matches the VHT flame-proof header paint pretty good, is what I'm trying to say. Almost, it's pretty much an exact match. I mean, flat black is flat black, but you know, there's sometimes they're a lighter, almost like a super dark charcoal gray. Sometimes they're a little darker. So, but either way, it is good enough for who it is for. Now this one, I'm not going to be able to use the impact. There's not proper space there. So this is just going to be the ratchet, but that's fine. This doesn't actually have to seal anything. It's literally just holding the end of the muffler to the support bracket. So you really don't want to go too hard on it anyway. Or you will damage the end of the muffler. Just want to make it tight enough that it's not going to come off. I believe that'll do her. So the muffler is installed. That JB Quick has had plenty of time to set up. It hardens within like 5 to 10 minutes. Now it's had, I don't know how many hours to sit. So now I have to get the fuel system back on the thing, the fuel tank, because I undid the clamps, you know, and when I went to put the hood down earlier when I was leaving, the whole thing just fell off. It's on the ground. So if we're going to run this, I have to put this back on. But I'm actually going to cut here real quick, cut the video, because while I'm at it, I'm probably going to change the fuel petcock, the little shutoff valve, and what else? Fuel line, fuel filter, new fuel line clamps. So I'm going to cut here, get all that stuff around, and then once I get everything, you know, cut the length, you know, the fuel line, and figure out where I want the fuel filter and everything, I will bring you back. Alright everyone, I skipped ahead a little bit. I already have the fuel tank mounted, but I did that because I am fighting the clock and the sun. The sun is starting to set. It's getting a little darker out here, which is no good for recording video. And on the original fuel tank, I found that. It got melted at some point in time. So there was still a little bit of fuel left in there, so I tipped it, you know, with this downward. And I, you know, went like that, ran the fuel past it a few times, and I seen one single drip, and that was enough for me to decide no on this fuel tank for now. This tank could still be good. You know, you can do a little plastic repair, and I might at some point in time, and just to be safe, I might even put tank liner in it. I'm not going to necessarily throw it away. I'm just not using it right now. So I went looking for a spare. I thought I had a spare one, a plastic tube frame style tank identical to that in there. Did not find one. I must have used it or sold it. So I found this one. This is out of an H16XL. And it does fit on the bracket, and it does fit under the hood, but I decided no, because it looked like it rubbed against the inside of the hood where the hood comes down the side, and I didn't really want it rubbing, not like this one was anyways. So I remembered my other Project G10 out back in the storage shed behind the garage. So I just want to rob the tank off of that one, because that one's not going anywhere anytime soon. Before I could do anything with it, I need a carburetor for it. I broke the carb. Pretty mad about that, especially after the work I put into that carb. Anyway, so fuel filter time. The fuel line is on, as well as the tank. I just need to install a fuel filter, but before I put it in, I decided to go with a different style fuel filter, a reusable kind where you just clean or replace the filter element. And these not only are a very nice style of filter because they're not plastic and the plastic doesn't get cloudy after a while, that is glass and that is stainless steel. But also, you know, you can buy kits that has the new O-rings and the new little red filter thing in there, the red cage with the little mesh screen. You can buy like a 5-pack of those for like $5-6 on Amazon, something like that. And these are not expensive either. So I am going with one of these for the first time. Let's just hope I don't ever break that glass. We'll try it. I was saving this for my nice G10, which you've probably seen in some videos with the McKissick Mighty Mac chipper shredder attachment, but I just, you know, ordered a couple more, and then I'm putting this on here. Let's see here. The only problem with this is I could not find this in the actual correct size. It's one size bigger than what the inside diameter of my fuel line is. But that ought to make for a nice tight seal anyway. So I'm going to just dot a little motor oil on there. Lube her up. Now I'm going to press it in. I had it most of the way in, but I want it all the way in. Ah, that's the trick right there. It just went right in. Got to lube it up. But yeah, that's just a 1/16, too big. I knew it would go though, just needed some convincing. Oh, now we have a new problem. My hose clamps may not be big enough. Nope. So, just for testing purposes, we're going to run it without hose clamps. I need one size bigger hose clamp. When I open it up enough for it to slide on the end of the fuel line where it's around that bigger nipple, it opens up too far. So, let me try one more time. See if I can close it up just a little bit and then slide it on. I force it. Nope. So, yeah, we're not going to force it. Yeah. So, put that other hose clamp over there. Let's lube up this other end. This other nipple. See if I need to trim the fuel line. Come on now. Play nice. Get on there. All the way. There we are. I would say the fuel filter is looking pretty great. When I finish tidying this up with the correct size hose clamps, I'm going to trim that line, fuel line, about 1 inch shorter. But for now, this will do. So, I know I still have to install the heat shield, but like I said, I'm fighting the clock, so I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm gonna get all this stuff off of here so it doesn't rattle off the tractor. This is a part that still needs attaching. I'll just put this up here for now too. All right, fuel. I am going to give it a little bit of sorry about that. Thought I had some out here and I did not. I'm going to give it a little bit of this Berryman B12 as my one of my favorite YouTube channels. The guy on there says, and that would be Vice Grip Garage, by the way. It's got all your B vitamins and I don't remember what he says. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of like Seafoam, cheaper. I get this for about $5 at my dollar store, but it's great stuff. So because I didn't properly rebuild the carburetor, all I did was take it apart, spray it out with some carb cleaner. I'm going to run a little of this through there. Probably a decent amount. Whoop! That's enough. Man, it's getting late. I still need to have dinner and a shower. Man, I see that stuff already going through that fuel filter. Very nice. Don't put too much in there in case it does decide to all leak out overnight, you know. Let's give her a whirl. See what happens. Try this one. Level out this fuel line for a second. Oh, we got I seen a spark. We got a wire smoking. Must be rubbed through and shorting out. What does that go to? Hopefully not the ignition. That is definitely a kill wire. That's nice. I'm just going to get it away from there, then see if it'll start. Well, one sure way to know if it's got spark is starting fluid. We're going to give her a snort. What? Oh, I know. Totally forgot. I loosened battery connections earlier because I thought I was going to have to take out the battery. Yeah, I think that's the kill wire. Okay. If I have to, I'll just snip that and fix it later because I want to see this. I want to listen to this thing run. What the? That battery died quick. I guess I'm going to cut it here and bring you back as soon as I replace the battery. This will be a good time to try out the battery that came out of that thing. Because after my last video, I looked at it and it actually said manufacturing date on it. It was like 2 years and 1 month old. So I was like, that's not that old. So I put a multimeter on it. It still read 12.12 volts. So I put it on the charger for a full night just to bring it all the way up, and let's test it out. Alright, I'm back. So I threw in the old EverStart battery that came out of it, or as I like to call them, a Never Start. What is that, a Walmart battery, I think? I don't remember. So let's see what she'll do. Got my starting fluid, ether, whatever. Too rich? I don't know. Just lean it out. See if that does it. Bring it down here. Alrighty. Let me tell you guys, this is way quieter than it was, at least in person. I don't know how much difference you can tell on the video, but it's a lot quieter in person. And it actually sounds really nice. That is a beautiful sounding Briggs. It still needs some fine tuning, but that'll come later. Now I just need to get that heat shield back on, a battery tie down, and still need to come. I have an air filter for it. Got an air filter. I was in a rush, so I just ordered a cheap one for now. I'll get an OEM one or OEM equivalent later, something better. But then I can just turn my attention to the whole rest of the tractor. Front wheels, tires, rear wheels and tires because they're mismatched. A seat, change all fluids, grease everything. Now you turn her down, see if she'll idle. No. That's a no. Ooh. That's interesting. Look at that JB Quick smoking off real quick. Anyways, so yeah, turn my attention to the rest of the tractors. Just service everything and give it a good degreasing, power washing. Turn my attention to the mower deck and fix whatever needs fixing, I guess. But the mower deck doesn't really need to be fixed before the tractor show. It just needs to be able to go up and down. And right now it can't. So yeah. Anyway, one moment. Let me flip you around. I'm gonna call that good for tonight. Yeah, that's that. She runs. We got her running in a previous video. She's running better now. I think it probably just needs fine-tuning now. An air filter would probably help to richen up the mixture a bit, because it's probably a little on the lean side without that restriction from the air filter. But it's a reasonable volume now, and it actually sounds really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, because I got to get inside, get showered, get some food in my belly, and relax. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. Give me a comment. share your thoughts. One thing I didn't want to mention actually is I've done an awful lot of just will it run small engine videos. I want to start doing less of those and get back to more Bolens stuff and a little bit more home light stuff, but mostly Bolens stuff, because like I'm a diehard Bolens guy, and I just kind of got away from that just because it was easier to throw a small engine on a bench to work on it. So I just want to let you guys know I am going to get back to doing more Bolens stuff. But anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.